Alright, so the other day I got a new truck, or new to me truck. I've been needing another one for plowing. I wanted to back up and I also wanted to expand my plowing route. But also with growing my remodeling business, I have been in multiple situations where I need multiple trailers on the job and I don't really like spending an entire day transporting trailers to the job. So if I have my helper drive the company truck, and I drive my truck with trailers, it just makes it a lot easier. Well, after this, I'll post a couple pictures of the day that I actually picked it up. I didn't take any video, I just took a couple pictures of it on the trailer. But this is the truck. It is a 2005 Chevy 2500 gas. Now, by no means am I a mechanic, so please correct me if I ever say anything wrong. But yeah, the guy I bought it from, he kind of just buys and sells trucks. It wasn't his personal truck. He bought it off of a couple because it was a good deal. He did a couple little things to it and then he decided to sell it, and that's when I got involved. So I'm gonna go through, and again, I'm not a mechanic, but I know a little bit about stuff. So I'm gonna do an oil change. I'm gonna check all the fluids. I am going to check the air pressure and the tires because I noticed that the other day when I was loading it on the trailer. When I had the plow on it, the front tires were squatted down quite a bit. So yeah, I'm going to go through that. I am going to, I don't know, just check out a bunch of stuff, see everything it is, and kind of get up into fresh shape. It's a 15, or not 15, it's a 05, so it's 15 years old. So it has its little defects, like over here on this cab corner is rotted. I don't know how to fix that type of stuff, so I'm gonna have one of my friends that does auto body take a look at that, and he's gonna give me a price on fixing that. But other than that, everything else is good. The frame has very minimal surface rust for its year. The body itself is in good shape other than that corner. It looks like the owners had sideswiped something or backed into a snowbank because this bumper is pushed in. So I'm going to hook that up to a chain, either to my other truck over there or to a tree, and just pull it out some because it doesn't look like it's all that bad. It's just kind of bent back right here. But yeah, over here, common in these trucks is the rocker panels and the cab corners rot out. This corner just has a little bit of surface rust on it, so when my buddy's taking care of the other side, he might just sand this down and repaint it. Other than that, I didn't really notice anything major up here. Not a lot of rust, which to me is a very good sign. Alright, I'm going to start with filling the tires with air, make sure they're up to pressure, then I'm going to do an oil change and check the fluids. Alright, so call me a dummy. I don't know where my oil catch pan is. So I am going to attempt to use a bucket, which is probably going to go catastrophically bad, especially since I'm fighting this exhaust pipe in the way. And I don't really have it lifted up in the air all that high because I just have a small jack. That's going to pour all over my hand. I'm trying to keep these rags on the exhaust so the oil doesn't get all over the exhaust, which is causing me an issue because I can't see anything I'm doing. I don't know if it's just a lost cause. Well, at very least, it stops it from spraying all over the place. Nope. Let's let that drain out. Hey, one of my rags fell. Is it still draining? Yes, it is. Well, it's at the point where I can take the rags out because those absorbed through. I'd say they helped. That's the wrong size, isn't it? Alright, well, I bought one of these cup socket things that is supposed to help you get oil filters off, but I guess I got the wrong size. Or maybe it was for one of my other trucks. So let's see if we can get it with the channel locks. Why doesn't this one adjust? Everything's falling over. Whoever put this on, put it on way too tight. I am break in the filter and it's spinning the filter, not the threads. Yeah. Some gung-ho mechanic. Not all mechanics, I'm not saying that. Just this one. And yes, I know I'm not using the right tool for it, but still. Should not be this hard. Holy Jesus. Yeah. Come on. By the time I get the filter out, it's going to be empty because there's so many holes poked in it because I have to crush it to turn it. This was probably one of those, I don't know, high school students that's learning how to be a mechanic. Thought he had to put the strength of the world on it. Holy cow. I've probably turned it maybe a half a turn at this point, and it's still wedged tight. Oh, I think it might have just let loose a little. Nope. Too tight. Let's let this drain out more, because if I let it fall, it's going to splash this oil everywhere. Alright, so I got lucky. I guess this, I don't know, whatever it's called, I'm going to call it a socket. It works for the new filter, but it did not work for the old filter. So it'll be a heck of a lot easier, and I won't risk breaking it with the channel locks. But what I did with the new filter, at least what I've always done, I don't know if it's wrong or right, or I'm supposed to use something else. I take a little bit of the new oil and rub it around this little rubber ring, the gasket. That way when you're tightening it on there, it doesn't have dry friction and cause this rubber ring to like wrinkle up or peel up at all, so you have a good seal. Another reason why you don't really need to crank on it with a million foot-pounds of torque. But yeah, I'm going to set this in. I'm going to clean up some of the oil I built up there. Can you even see any of it? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to clean up some of the oil up there. Then I'm going to set this in. I'm going to put the drain plug back in. And then I'm going to fill it with oil. Oh yeah, some people will fill the filters with oil before they put it on. It is the better thing to do. You get a more accurate measurement right away, and also you're not running your motor without any oil at all for a couple seconds. Knowing myself, if I were to fill that with oil, the second I touch it, I'm going to dump it all on the ground. So I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I'm going to put all this back on and then fill up the truck. Alright, so that was on time lapse, so I don't know how well you saw it, but I'm asking mechanics, is it possible to do an oil change without dropping a tool in the bucket of oil? Seems like every single one I've ever done, I've dropped at least one wrench or socket or something in the bucket. Well, this whole socket wrench dropped right in the bucket. On par. It doesn't hurt it, if anything, it just lubricates it. At least that's what I think. So, hey, whatever. Stops it from rusting. Just a mess to clean up. I think the theory is your hands are so covered in oil from getting it on everything. It's just slippery. But yeah, these things, whatever it's called, let's see, does it have a name? Cap filter wrench. They work awesome. I like them a lot better than the channel lock version. So when I was younger and I bought a brand new truck years ago, on the way home I had free money to spend. I was excited I got a new truck. So I put in a brand new aftermarket filter. And I was just, I don't know, cheap I guess you could say. I didn't want to get rid of the brand new OEM one. So I kept it around for the years. It has literally seen, I think 5 or 6 miles on it from the dealership to my house. And then I got the aftermarket one and put it in the truck. I don't really know the point of the aftermarket ones. I never really noticed a difference. So I'm going to check the air filter on this. I mean, the truck has 237,000 miles on it. It's a lot of miles, but I don't know if they've ever changed the filter. I'll take a look, see what it looks like, and if I can, or if I have to, I'll put the new filter in. All right, I need T15, maybe T10. I was wrong. T25. Oh yeah, I think it's safe to say that it needs a new filter. Now, the filter membrane of the original one is definitely a yellow to begin with, and it has an orange gasket. The new one has a black gasket and it's white to begin with. So they are slightly different as a base, but if you look at this, that is definitely blackened. You can see how the yellow was before. This is all just the road dust over the years. It's definitely time for a new filter. Hey, cheap, easy replacement, especially when it's free because I already had it off a truck that I bought before. Alright, so I did the oil change, I checked all the tire pressures, I got the air filter changed out. Another thing I want to take care of is, can you see it in here? There's moisture inside this lens. I'm hoping it's a simple, easy fix. I'm thinking maybe at one point the bulbs in here were taken out or broken out at some point, and they got moisture in, and they just let it sit for a little while. So what I'm going to try and do is take this lens out. This one has a little bit also, but it only shows up when the lights are on. I'm going to try taking these two lenses out, take the bulbs out, bring them inside where I have the wood stove, and then just the dry air itself I'm hoping will dry out all the moisture inside these lenses and we'll be good. Let's see how these come out. I know some of these Chevy trucks, the lenses come out easy, some of them not so easy. Actually, my 2015, I broke one of the lenses trying to take a bulb out. Wasn't happy about that. But I also had a 2002 that was very easy to take out. Come on. Open. It is simple. That's the top lens. That's a good start. All right. Let's not break these lights because they do work. And actually they look like they've been replaced recently, so that does reassure me that it's possibly just because the lights were previously broke and they sat while they were broken for a while. How am I going to be able to get these to stop here? And I dropped the light fixture. Stay there. Well, I didn't just break it dropping it, but I don't see any signs of cracking or gapping or anything from before. So if the seal was broken, the moisture would get in, but I'm not seeing any broken seal. So I don't know. Like I said, I'll bring them into the wood stove and let them dry out. There, put it on the ground. Let's see how this lower one comes out. So it looks like there's some push pins there. I don't know what's going on here. Is that just a friction plate? Nope, that's the grill. That's the grill push pin down here. the bottom one might not be as easy. If you look at that, it's cold here. I actually have like flakes of ice on the light bulb. That's funny. And then if you look in here, there's that much water inside of this. So again, I don't know if this is a cracked housing, a bad gasket, or if it was just because they left the light bulbs out, but I'm gonna find out at the very least. Alright, well, would you look at that? Same light fixture, and it is all dry now. My basement is about 105 degrees because the wood stove, and even though I have a pot of water on top of it and 2 humidifiers in the house always tends to be dry because of the wood stove. So this worked out great, and I am hot still because I was in the basement with it. And it is like 30 degrees out right now. So I know in a couple minutes I'll get cold once my body cools off, but let's get this stuff back together. And next step will end up being hooking the truck bumper up to a chain. I don't know if I'm gonna just pull it off the other truck or hook it up to a tree. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But yeah, let's get this back together. All right, now we have our light fixtures back in. Oh, geez, don't look right in the light. But yeah, no moisture or anything in there. No moisture in there. How did I turn that one on? Is that the high beam? Yep, that's the high beam. Let's do this. All right, that's those. What's the other one? What's this light? Is that directional? Oh, directionals don't turn on when the truck's not running. Hazards do though. I don't know what those are. Oh, daytime running lights. All right, too many lights on these trucks. Turn that off. Turn that off. Okay, they're not daytime running lights. I don't know what it is. I'm sure I'll figure out at some point. How many of you drive all over your yard? My fertilizer guy actually told me that I gotta stop driving on my yard because I'm packing it down too much. I told him, tough chance. I have to do too much stuff on it. Alright. Hey look, there's the plow for it. Here. Then we're gonna back up to this tree. Go a little sideways because we want the bumper in line with it. Right there. be like that. Let's see how this goes. I don't know if this will even stay here or not. Let's hope it does. Wow, that's on there. I would not suggest doing this if you value your paint, because you're likely to scratch your paint, but I don't think I have an issue with it. Camera didn't last that time. Oh, but it did look like it moved a bit. That moved out quite a bit. I think it's about the same size. Well, if I have not an accurate gauge, but if I stick my hand in there and I stick my hand in there, it's about the same. Oh, it snapped back in. Let's see if we back up, it stays there. If it springs back. It stayed. Yep, no real damage there. Plastic's bent just a little, but I don't think anyone will ever notice. Down here, where is it? Exhaust is in the way. There's a little of a burr, but again, I don't think anyone's gonna notice that. Nice and solid. That's not going anywhere. Awesome. Alright, I think that's all I'm going to do for it today. Other stuff will probably come up. I don't know. We'll see. See you later. Alright, one more thing. This truck came with a pretty dang nice roll-up bed cover. And it works perfect all the way up to the very end. It's got this lock that I can't seem to get to work. On the lock, I mean, the keys that I got came with it. On the lock it says RS126, and on this key it says RS126, and it goes in there perfectly fine, and it starts to turn, but it doesn't completely turn. So I'm thinking something's bound up in there. I'm going to try spraying it with some WD-40 to release it, hopefully, because it looks like it's got some corrosion in here and whatnot. I don't know exactly, but we'll see how it holds up. Alright, looks like it's just the lock mechanism either seized up or the RS-126 just doesn't seem to be working correctly. So I'm going to go on this company's webpage and see if I can just order a new one of these. And that'll be for another day. Because this says RS-126. And right on here it says RS-126. I'm assuming it's the right key. I don't know. The other key that came with it says IL19. And that doesn't even go in all the way. So can't be that one. This is a key I just put on the key ring, and oh hey, wait a second. No, that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, for another day.